everybody, it is I, your old mate DP. This is DP Debunks, and we've had a development in the KiNG NiCo story that I wanted to talk about, and it's a bit of a weird one. So ages ago, about 4 days, I posted a video, the first ever one on this channel, in fact, and thank you to all of you for checking that out, about KiNG NiCo taking a video by Eric Dubay, running it through an AI voice generator with the transcript, putting that audio on and posting it on his channel unedited, and how that was a bit of a dick move. Some new information has come to light, sort of. So what's happened is Culture Catz, who is awesome, love you Catz, love your work, debated KiNG NiCo this morning or this afternoon or this evening, depending on where you are on the globe. And the debate itself was pretty good. It was a good conversation. Catz, having been a school teacher, has the patience of an absolute saint, maybe too patient at times, but that's not a criticism at all. It was a really good watch. I missed the start of the debate, but I did go back to have a look at the very beginning because something was brought up, and it was brought up in kind of a strange way. Now, none of this is a criticism of Catz at all, but we'll have a look at what happened, and then I'm going to have a chat to you about it.
Right. Hello, everybody. Tonight, we're going to be having a debate with NiCo. As usual, the head honcho, the boss man, the main moderator, Doom, will be keeping things nice and civil. Me and NiCo and Doom, we've been having a chat behind the scenes and getting on like a house on fire. It's all going to be great. Before we start, though, I want to throw this little bit of information out there before we talk about the debate. I was getting loads of comments saying, you want to pull NiCo up on why he stole Eric Dubay's video. For those who don't know the background, Eric Dubay made a video, and then NiCo took that video and word for word replaced it. And I've been getting a lot of comments saying, you've got to pick NiCo up on that. You've got to pick NiCo up on that. This is probably the one time all night I'm going to defend NiCo's point of view. I started watching NiCo a while ago to try and get an idea of what he was about. And I saw him make these arguments about the final experiment. And when Eric Dubay made his video, he took every argument that NiCo had constructed, including like the freeze frame screenshots. Basically, he raided NiCo's live streams and then put the video together from that, and didn't credit NiCo at all. So if you're one of the people who's commented saying, asking why he's ripped off Eric Dubay, I actually think it was quite a funny bit of trolling, a bit of parody of Eric Dubay's own video pillaging. And not that I agree with any of the content that was on the video, and I'm sure we'll get to that in the debate. But I did promise NiCo I'd say that because I found it hilarious. But we will introduce you in a second, NiCo.
So there you go. Before the debate, they were chatting backstage, or before the stream actually kicked off, and NiCo's told Catz apparently and Doom the story of why he's made that video the way he did. Catz has found it quite funny and come out in defense of NiCo, just saying like, yes, I thought it was funny and I get the joke. Now, obviously, I missed that joke and many other people missed the joke as well. Maybe because it was never ever made clear that it was a bit of trolling or a parody or a joke. And that's fine. NiCo doesn't strike me as a person with a particularly great sense of humor, so transmitting that is probably very, very difficult, given that he doesn't understand why birds fly in the sky and don't just fall down based on the content of this debate.
Well, gravity itself has never been proven or contained to be seen and studied. It has so many, it's very selective with what it chooses to pull towards the center of Earth. So like balloons and helium can float up and not be pulled down. Birds can fly without resistance to the force of gravity, right? So it's gravity in itself is just definitely made up. It sounds more like something that is alive and not some kind of force, invisible force. It sounds like something that has a mind that picks and chooses, so it can't be real.
Right. Now, this same information was shared with me within the comments section of my video, and you can go back and read that. There's a whole ton of messages in a thread, about 15 of them back and forth between me and one of the commenters. And at times it got quite nasty from one side, not the other. And eventually it all ended up quite cordial. And within that discussion, the same claim was made that KiNG NiCo made this video to troll Eric Dubay for not giving him credit for I nearly said work. For not giving him credit for what he did on his live streams. Eric Dubay's pillaged his live streams, as Catz has said, stitched that together, and created a video. And fair play, I did agree with that commenter that what Dubay did without giving King NiCo credit is a dick move. If Dubay had given him some credit or shouted him out in the video or even in his comments or description or whatever, that's fine. And I do agree that the way Dubay went about it was a bit of a turd act. That being said, my opinion, and this is just my opinion, it's not for me to tell NiCo at all how to make or not make his content, but I think it would have helped everybody to get the joke and get in on the action if you'd mentioned something within the video description that it was a parody or that it was trolling, and that you were posting that content as a bit of a dude, what the hell, to Eric Dubay for ripping you off. You can make that clear and it doesn't impact on the joke. If anything, it enhances it because it helps more people get in on it. I also said within my comment section, once me and the commenter got on the same page, that if NiCo had done that and called out Dubay and said, Eric Dubay ripped off the things that I've said in my stream and didn't give me credit, so here's a video where I take it all back, I would have backed him on that. Like Catz said, I would not support any of the content in that video because it's all misinformation, lies, conjecture, and absolute garbage, but I would have backed the act in standing up for himself and saying, this dude stole my stuff, I'm taking it back. But he hasn't done that. Even in his comments section, and I've been back through a bunch of them today, but there's only so much I can take. He has still not directly stated that this is why he's made the video. He hasn't clarified that position at all. And it's not that hard. You can edit the description. You can, I'm not saying edit the title's part of the joke, and I get that now, that's fine. But in the description or pin a comment or something outlining why it's there to stop the confusion. Now, personally, some may feel that I owe NiCo an apology for calling him out as a content thief. I don't think I do, because he definitely did, and he's admitted as much. Trolling or not, I don't agree with it. Take the video, comment on it, react to it, show where the original came from, and call him out. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that, and you're quite within your rights to do so. And as I've said, I would support it. You do that, I'll post a video saying NiCo's in the right. He's wrong about everything he believes about flat earth and basically everything else. But in this one instance, he is in the right. I will happily do that. All of that being said, I'm not going to take down the original video because I think it's important for one main thing. There's a reason why I'm not going to take down the original video. I believe the fact that myself and many other people jumped to the conclusion that NiCo was ripping off this video and passing it off as his own is more of an indictment on the flat earth community, especially on YouTube, than anything else. I'm happy to put my hand up and say I did not get the joke. The onus isn't on NiCo to do anything the way I think he should, other than maybe read a book and learn about some science. That's my damage, and I'll own that. However, none of us believe that taking someone else's video, adding an AI voice, and releasing the thing apparently as your own content is beyond anyone in the flat earth community. And that, I think, is a bigger problem than any kind of misunderstanding. I'm going to be very careful in all my content to make sure I'm giving credit where credit is due. If I'm using anybody else's footage, my latest YouTube short, I've used Star Trail footage that other people have taken, and you'll find the links to their videos and their names in the video description of a YouTube short, encouraging all of you to go and check out the originals and subscribe to the channel, because that's the right thing to do. I even included a link in that original video to King NiCo's video. I just don't want to send any traffic to Eric Dubay. Now, I did mention at the start that something about this development sat a bit weird with me, and I want to talk about that now. So let's just jump across and have a look. We've already seen this footage. Here's Catz talking again about how he's had a conversation with NiCo backstage. People ask questions of him about the video, telling him to bring it up in the debate and stealing Dubay's video, blah, 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 blah. Catz says he'll defend NiCo for this one, backs him up, says he found the trolling funny. But the whole time, NiCo just sits there like a stunned mullet, doesn't say a word, looks away at one point, gets a weird sort of smile on his face at one point, and he like looks away from the camera, grabs his mug, has a sip of drink, which he's doing right now. He obeys my commands. but he doesn't say anything. He just sort of lets Catz fight his battle for him. And maybe it's a case of, and I've got a couple of different theories about what might have gone on. I don't know if any of them are true, and I'm happy to be corrected or confirmed or whatever else might be the case. It could be that Catz and Doom and the team, they're at 8 out of 10 Catz, so Catz a lot. Just felt that maybe this carried more weight coming from them rather than NiCo. You do run the risk of everybody in the audience just saying, oh, here goes NiCo, trying to defend himself and explaining it all away and being very dismissive. It's not uncommon in these sort of debates for people to have that attitude while they're watching. And I could understand that. Maybe it's a case of NiCo just didn't want to talk about it. I don't watch his live streams because I've got better things to do with my time, but maybe he's already addressed it there ad nauseum and he just didn't want to retread old ground in this instance. And Catz, being the stand-up guy he is, said, don't worry, I've got it covered. And Catz did mention that he promised he'd bring it up, but I just find it weird that you wouldn't go with maybe Catz asking a question about the video. Hey, NiCo, people have been saying you stole this video. NiCo then has the opportunity to say his own piece in his own words, or maybe he could AI generate that as well if he sees fit. Saves time, apparently. But he didn't do that. Again, he's let Catz fight his battle. Now, for a powerful sergeant in the Crusaders of the Resistance, it does seem weird to let the enemy, like Catz, a globe defender, to stand up and defend him. What's that about? It just seems odd. Anyway, none of that is super important. Just something that rubbed my brain the wrong way. I'd love to know what you think about the latest development in the story. As mentioned, I'm not going to apologize. I'm not going to take down the video. I think this serves as evidence that yes, there's a bit more to the story. We've had it from a reliable source in Catz, but what we still haven't had, or I haven't seen, is that from NiCo. And that's where it needs to come from. Don't go running off to a glober that you ridicule and belittle and accuse of being a Freemason to stand up for you and right the ship. You made the mess, NiCo. You're quite capable of fixing it on your own. Or maybe I'm just giving you too much credit. Regardless, there's a way to go about it. I've pointed out a few actions you can take to help smooth the whole thing over and make it very, very clear what the intent was. I hope you do so. That's going to wrap it up for this video, folks. If you're having a good time, if you like what you see, in terms of the video, not this, I don't know what that's all about. Hit the like button, subscribe, do all the YouTube things, who cares? Anyway, we'll see you next time. Bye.